Alright, so it's no surprise, but everyone and their grandma is dropshipping in 2020. So the question is, how can you stand out amongst the saturation? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to be showing you guys inside this video. Today I'm going to show you guys how you can build a branded dropshipping store so you can look like a large e-commerce brand that will be sure to attract customers. But before we get into that, if you guys hit that like button and drop a comment with what you like most about this video, you're gonna be eligible to win $500 in prize and gifts. But guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's hop into it and start building your branded dropshipping store. So what is branded dropshipping and how can we actually do this ourselves? Branded dropshipping is a model where we take generic products and private label them with a method of fulfillment that doesn't require you handling it. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can do this yourself. But before we get into that, let me explain some concepts you must understand before we start. Branded dropshipping in its simplest form is essentially the same concept of standard AliExpress dropshipping, but in this method we can build real brands, create tons of happy customers, and the best part is that you can stick out amongst all the saturation. Most dropshipping stores today look scammy, unprofessional, and not very trustworthy, and that's where you come in, with an amazing branded product and store that garners not only more trust, but higher perceived value. Branded dropshipping is the same strategy that large e-commerce companies use to dominate markets. Here's a few examples of large e-commerce companies who successfully implemented these strategies. Now the real question is, how can we do this without much capital and create a streamlined process where we can scale without worrying about inventory? It sounds difficult, but with the right process in place, you'll be able to succeed with flying colors. Now, arguably the most difficult part of this process is actually finding an awesome product to put your logo on. But today I'm going to be showing you how we can spot trends and capitalize on unsaturated markets to thrive in today's landscape. So without further ado, let's hop in and start building your branded dropshipping store. Alright guys, so the first thing we need to do to create our branded dropshipping store is to pick our niche. And with so many different markets to choose from, how can we decide and differentiate between markets? It can be difficult to choose, but any market with a passionate audience is exactly what we want. Let me show you guys a few examples of what passionate audiences actually look like. So the reason we want to capitalize on a market with a passionate audience is simply due to the emotional triggers behind purchasing. Let me give you guys a quick example. If we know that humans love their puppy and want them to be happy, then we already know the problem at hand. Now it's your job to scour products that fit the gap and solve the problem. Let me show you guys a few examples of stores who've absolutely crushed it with this same branding effect. Now, a passionate audience also has some more benefits. When someone's really interested in something, they talk a lot about it. Now, most dropshippers probably won't believe this, but word of mouth is actually one of your most powerful forms of marketing. So we want to capitalize on this in any form that we can. And by utilizing the power of a great product, you'll let your consumers spread the product to other future consumers. Chances are, if they're a passionate buyer, then they probably know a few. And trust me, they're going to talk about their experience. Put yourself in their shoes. Have you ever bought a product you were really interested in and told everyone you know about it? Now hold up, it's not enough just to have a passionate audience. Unless your goal is to thrive solely on paid traffic, which I absolutely don't recommend. If you solely focus on paid traffic, then you're gonna go down a path of resistance where you're gonna get capped out and eventually your store is just gonna die down. Because basically once your ads stop, the sales stop. And trust me, you don't want the sales to stop. So another criteria I look for is establishing a brand inside of a niche with a large community. For example, workout gear or even survival products. Let's take for example a large brand like Nike. They know that the more products they sell, the more their product's gonna be shared naturally and organically, and that's exactly what they want. This allows them to keep scaling and not having to spend as much money on advertising as other companies because they know that the product's just gonna keep being shared, and that's the position that you wanna be in. So now that I explained some criteria for niches that you actually wanna target, let me share with you guys my top favorite niches in 2020 that you guys can literally take and start your dropshipping stores around. Pet products is awesome because it's an evergreen niche and people absolutely love their animals. Another great niche is baby products. Baby products are amazing to sell because parents would do absolutely anything for their children. Another amazing niche is fitness products because people love taking care of their health. And then there's the jewelry niche. With high margins and viral potential, it makes it the perfect candidate for amazing niche to sell in. But definitely let's not forget about the skincare niche, being an evergreen market with recurring sales and customers willing to buy near anything. Make it one of the best niches on this entire list. Alright, now that you have your niche picked out, let's look for some products inside that niche and ultimately learn how to private label these products. Okay, so now that you have your niche picked out, we're gonna wanna go onto Amazon, the absolute largest e-commerce company in the world. And this is gonna give us some invaluable market data to help us pick the products inside of our niche. So the first thing that we want to do is we wanna come over here and pick this bestseller tab right here, because it's gonna get really interesting here, because what Amazon's gonna do, it's gonna list all these different departments that we can go after. So for example, if we're trying to go after some pet supplies, we can go into this niche, or in my example today, I'm going to be using the sports and outdoor. So we can click through to here and it's actually going to show us all the top products that are actually being sold inside this niche. So we can see, for example, these resistant bands are really hot and this premium waist trimmer. And let's scroll down and see if we can find anything else that's a really suitable product. So a jump rope, I'm not going to choose that, but if we keep scrolling down here, we can see how many different options we have. Like these waist trimmers are really hot. And then after we've opened a few different products, we can compare against them by looking through the reviews and the price points we're going after. So come down here and obviously, and on Amazon, we're looking for a product that's over 4 stars, because that means it's a really solid product. And you want to maybe read through some of these reviews and make sure that they're not fake, because sometimes on Amazon you get fake reviews. But just go through these and try to figure out the product that suits you most. I like going after products that are at least $30. So maybe some of these products aren't the best options because they're a little bit cheaper. So you could look through here and try to find one that's the best option. Let me try to find one that's $30 just so we can have a proper representation. So I'll be back in 1 second once I found a product. Okay, cool. So I found this product. It's not exactly $30, but it's pretty close there. One thing is, if it's $30 on Amazon, you can usually charge quite a bit more because Amazon's prices are sometimes pretty ridiculous. I would say with this product, we could charge comfortably $39.99 without any issues. So basically this is like a concealed carry gun holster, and apparently this is like trending up right now with all the madness going on in the world. But one thing we can do to actually check how hot this is selling, besides Amazon telling us it's selling like hotcakes, what we can do is we can use a tool called Jungle Scout, and it will actually analyze the sales data behind this. So Jungle Scout's saying that this one's doing 643 orders a day, and it's actually making 562,000 a month. So that's pretty nuts, and you gotta understand this is all based off query searching off Amazon. So if you have an ad that actually can catch their attention, then this could be an awesome product. But now that we found our product, what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna find a supplier for it. So instead of using AliExpress like we standardly would do, we wanna go onto Alibaba and we wanna search up gun holster. We can usually just copy some of the name information on Amazon and just search it up in Alibaba, and we can usually find a product super similar. So let's see what shows up here. So yeah, this looks almost exactly the same. And as we can see here, the product price gets as low as $3, and usually don't base the number on what it says here. You usually have to contact them to get proper information. But let's see if this is the same product. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. They just put their logo on it. So what we can do now is we want to actually reach out to them and see if they'll provide some dropshipping services for us and actually be able to white label it. So I'm going to show you guys a couple methods for doing that and how to reach out to these suppliers so you can strike up some deals which are mutually beneficial, or they actually want to go out and help you provide branded dropshipping. And one thing I look out for is you want to find a verified supplier, and you can see over here that this supplier has been in business for 3 years and they've done $1.2 million, which is a really good sign, because some of these companies that come in are trading companies, and trading companies aren't necessarily bad. They usually take a percentage of the sale, but they go through a manufacturer. But as long as they're a verified and well-respected trading company, then I recommend using them. Sometimes it's advantageous to go through the actual manufacturer, but it's kind of hard to get a hold of them if you don't have direct connections in China. So now that we have our supplier, I'm going to show you guys a few different methods we can reach out to them with. So we can just come over here and click this contact supplier. And now here's where things are gonna start to get interesting. I'm actually gonna leave this template for you guys down in the description, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be contacting them, and basically I'm saying, hi, my name's Tan, and I'm reaching out to get desired pricing on the model I'm inquiring about. And I always ask in this message for the unit pricing on 1,000 units, but just don't worry, you're not actually gonna be ordering 1,000 units. What we wanna do here is we wanna gauge the price point on a higher volume so they don't give us a bad price, because sometimes they won't even work with people who initially quote them on just a few units. So this is really important that you actually give them incentive to work with you. And then also I asked them if they could answer a few questions for me. It's also really important that we do get these questions answered. If they don't want to reply to these questions, then they're definitely not a supplier we want to work with. One of the questions that I asked them is their production time for the product with the private label logo, and then I asked for their production capacity, and this is also really important so we don't get maxed out if we're trying to scale the product. And then next we want to ask about drop shipping services, because obviously this is what we're looking for, and then we're also trying to figure out logistic methods that they can provide and to attach pricing for the methods. So what we want to do is we want to send this exact method and change the quantity to 1,000 sets, and we want to send this message to about 5 to 10 suppliers with the same product. And after we've sent this message, what we're going to want to do is see if they're going to actually drop ship the products for us. And if they are going to drop ship the products for us, and this is what we want to do, we want to get our orders to about 20 a day with them drop shipping it. And this is where we're going to actually ask if they'll private label the product and keep it in stock on their side. This is really important because this will actually help you not invest any capital into getting it started. And quite a few of these suppliers will do it if you have consistent volume with them. But if you don't want to go with the Chinese methods of fulfillment, then I'm going to show you guys a couple methods of fulfillment that I use to get my product shipped really quickly. Okay, so if you want to get your product shipped much quicker, what you're going to want to do is after you get to about 20 orders a day, you're going to want to order in bulk with the white label. And then what you can have them do, you can have them ship directly this company dollar fulfillment. Dollar fulfillment's really only good if you're doing a ton of volume, because what they do is they pick, pack, and ship it for only $1. Obviously there's a shipping cost on top of that too, but this is probably the best and cheapest method because obviously it's only $1. But the thing is, each SKU needs to be doing about 1,000 orders a month, so you really need to make sure that you have the volume ramped up. But if you haven't gotten there yet, or you just have multiple SKUs inside, what I would do is use Shipmonk. I've actually used this quite a few times, and Shipmonk's a great option. They have world-class software and the support team's really good, and this is better if you have more SKUs or like a private label niche brand, because you can stock everything up. And if you come to pricing, it's really not that bad. It's $2.50 per order, so that's not bad at all, and 50 cents per each one, and it actually gets cheaper as your volume ramps up. So let's say you're doing 2,500 to 5,000, it's only actually $1.80, so it is pretty cheap in comparison to a lot of the methods. So Shipmonk's definitely a good option, and this will help you get fast shipping. All right, now that you have your niche and offer picked out, I'm gonna show you guys how you can make this look like an absolutely beautiful and branded store so customers keep coming back to you like a magnet. Alright, so before we start building the website, we're going to need to pick out a domain name, and this is where a lot of people get caught up. So I recommend you head over to namemesh.com, and what you can do is you can type in different keywords here and it will actually populate domains that we can choose. So all you can do is press generate, and then hundreds of different domain ideas will pop up. So I'm going to try to choose one that interests me. I kind of like this gun holster, it's pretty unique. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head over to canva.com on a free plan, and I'm going to choose this logo section right here. And what it's going to do, it's going to populate all these different templates we can choose from. So I'm just going to go through here and I'm going to try to find one that catches my attention. So this one looks pretty clean and it's kind of like a security badge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put our name in here and see if it looks good. So actually that looks pretty nice. So I'm just gonna get rid of this security agency right here. And then I'm gonna ungroup this element and I'm gonna drag it over, and boom. I think that looks pretty good. And this took literally like 30 seconds. So now what I wanna do is I'm going to save this as a transparent background. And once it's done downloading, all we need to do is crop the rest of the image out so the logo is a good proportion for our website. So after we've done that, let's start our Shopify plan and let's put this logo in our website and start designing our store. So I'll be back in 1 second. Alright, awesome. Now that you've actually started your Shopify trial, you want to download an app called Gem Pages. I'm going to leave a link in the description for you. Gem Pages actually provided me with a 14-day trial, but this is not sponsored at all. This is just an app that I really actually use in all my stores, and they reached out to me because they saw that I'm actually using this. So go get your 14-day trial, and then what you want to do is you want to come to the dashboard, and they have all these different templates that we can populate and use as our product page. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this Gem shoe one because it looks really clean, and I actually designed a store off this recently, and we can just give it a quick name. So I'm just going to say holster, and I'm going to take the header and footer off because it's actually usually not needed on a one product store. So you can just toggle that off and then click create, and what's going to happen is this template's going to populate into our account, and we can actually edit everything up inside of this template, and it's super nice because you don't get the same constraints of a product page. So I'm going to show you how we can edit this up now. So usually what I do standardly is edit everything on mobile and then come back and edit it on desktop, so it just makes our life a little bit easier. So right here we can just put our logo in. I've actually already uploaded my logo, so you can see right there. And then what we want to do is we want to actually put a hero banner, so the image behind here that kind of relates to our product. So you can head over to pexels.com. I actually just found this image, so I'm going to be using this. So you can just upload that, and you can see this kind of really relates to what we're selling. And it's a little bit too bright, so we can come over here and we can put an overlay on it. I'm gonna put a black overlay, and I'm gonna put it to 0.4 opacity because now you can actually see what's going on. And what we can do here is we can put a headline that gets their attention. So I'm gonna put the gun holster you've been waiting for. And yeah, I think it's starting to look pretty good. I'm actually gonna leave this over here because money back guarantee is always nice when customers see this. And then I'm gonna change this button up because obviously it's not $99. I'm just gonna put get your gun holstered today. And then here's where we can start editing all these images up right here. So I'm just going to remove the current content they have in here, and then you can just drop a block with whatever you want. And I'm gonna put an image right here. So what we can do after we've dropped an image is we can come back to our Alibaba listing, and we can download all the photos that we want to use, because usually these are stock images so you can use them. But if you're unclear if you can, then I would just reach out to the supplier and ask them a quick question and see if it's okay if you can use them. I'm not actually launching these stores, so I'm not going to be reaching out to them today. But after you put your image in and downloaded your images, we can just start uploading some of the images that we did download, and then we can start putting some info on our product. So let this upload a little bit, and then so after the image is done uploading here, we can just put a headline that catches their attention. And one way that we can actually find some info to put in the headline is going back to that Amazon product page. So I'm not telling you guys to copy and paste this. You definitely want to try reword everything and making it your own, but since I'm not launching this, I just want to show you guys how we could do this. You could put this as the headline, and we could just adjust the text to the sizing we want. And then we can come over here and put some of the selling points. And it's really nice to base things off the Amazon listing because they give us a lot of information that will help sell the product. And we can just say no as plain text. And then what we could do, we could just duplicate this row another time, and we could put another image in here. So let me just upload some more images, and I'll be back with you guys in 1 second. Okay guys, so I just added 3 sections so you can see actually how clean this is and how well this is actually coming together. And so far I've probably spent less than 3 minutes on this. So what I want to do is I want to edit the rest of this up. So I just need to put another image in here. I'm having problems actually getting some images from this because the listing won't let me download it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to screenshot it for the purpose of this video, and I'm going to throw it in, and then we can just put some more features on here, and then our page will start looking really good. So I'm gonna knock this out, and I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, cool. So I just finished this section. I just dropped all these different questions and put some solutions about how our product actually solves them. So now that we knocked this section out, the product page is almost done. There's a money back guarantee here, and I like that section. So I'm gonna leave it in, and this is where the product page would actually go. So we can take some of this info out over here, and we could take some info out over here. Since there's no swatches, I took that out, and there's no size guide obviously, so I'm gonna remove that, and then we can just adjust the sizing right here, and we should be pretty much good to go. I don't usually like the checkout badges, so I'm gonna remove that. But now the page is looking really nice, and one thing that I want to do, I might want to put an image gallery over here, so you can just drag this image list in. And one question that a lot of you guys asked me is, how is this a product page? And you guys don't need to send them to anything besides this page, so you don't need to have a home page or anything, because when they click this button, we can actually make it scroll all the way down to this section where they can just add it to cart, or we could even have this be the add to cart button, so you guys don't need separate pages. This could act as your home page and your product page. So now that we've done this, all we need to do is put some reviews over here. So you could actually leave the dummy reviews in here, but if you want, you could also install Lukes and everything like that. It's really easy. All you need to do is come over and you can drop a liquid section right here, and they actually have documentation, so you can just go on GemPage's help page and they'll show you how to install it in like 20 seconds. So you can install all your different favorite review tools over here, and we could just get rid of these because in my opinion it doesn't look that legit. You could put a real review system right here, and then I'm just going to get rid of this right here, and then over here we could just make this our footer. So as you see, our page is pretty much done. I'm not gonna do too much more to it because it's pretty much already done. And I also have a full tutorial showing guys a little bit more in depth on this. If you wanna check it out, I'm gonna make sure to leave a link in the description. But as you see, this is a really good product page already. And I'm pretty sure with about maybe another 10 minutes of editing, we would have a really solid conversion rate with this product. And this is really good for testing out products because the consumers have nowhere else to go but either add it to cart or leave the page. One thing that I might do is I would add an FAQ system. So I actually show you guys how to do that in the prior video. That's gonna be in the description, but that's pretty much all I'm gonna show you for now, because as you see, this kind of like an unlimited template for doing whatever you want. So if you guys want some more ideas, then go check out that last video. But this is how I would start my branded store that will increase my conversion rate. All right guys, there we go. I showed you exactly how you can set up your branded dropshipping store. And I'm sure there's gonna be a ton of questions relating to this video, so just drop them down in the comments below and I'll be happy to help you out. But before we end this video off, I wanna give you guys a few tips for actually structuring the branded product after you get it going. Obviously, I didn't brand this product myself, so I wasn't able to show you guys everything on the back end of setting up custom photos. But one thing I would do at that point is go on Fiverr and order some custom product photos, or if you have a decent camera or an iPhone, you can probably take them yourself and they should turn out pretty good. And besides that, I definitely recommend you create some custom graphics by just going on Fiverr and finding a quick graphic designer. But I truly believe if you take the methods that I shared today and implement them in your dropshipping store, your store is going to be able to stand out. So if you did enjoy this video and found it helpful, then please give the video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out and helps the YouTube algorithm. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel because every single week I drop a banger video about dropshipping or business. So without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.